What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for stopping in. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button right now and go ahead and hit the bell as well, because you don't want to miss what we got going on. Amy Lee Curtis on Activia. I try to keep my uploads regular. Usually I'm good for about 2 a week, so stick around. What do we got going on today? Well, if you've been following along, which I very much hope that you have, and I appreciate your support, I've had a slight rattle in my exhaust, and it's been difficult to find, but I think I tracked it down to the flex pipe in the 1320 Performance Y pipe. This is a typical evil, a typical problem for any part of an exhaust system that has flex pipe. Absolutely hate flex pipe, and I did my very best to find an exhaust setup that didn't have any flex pipe, although I had heard some stories about some folks that eliminated flex pipe and had issues down the line with flanges or welds around the flanges breaking because there was no give in the exhaust when the engine torqued. Back at all my other exhaust setups, you know, back in the day on Mustangs, Camaros, and trucks, none of them ever had flex pipe. So I just can't imagine it causing a problem. And in fact, I've had a couple of folks chime in and say that they eliminated the flex pipe on their Y pipes as well, and you know, had no issues for over a couple of years. So we're just gonna go for it. The other day I bought a section of pipe about 18 inches long, and it had a flare on each end, 2.5 inch. 2.5 inch pipe, that is, with a flare, so I can fit it on. But I didn't grab any adapters because I want the exhaust to flow properly. I want the expanded end to go toward the engine, and then I want an adapter so I can go inside the remaining portion of pipe, so it flows without any obstruction inside of the pipe itself. So I'm on the way to O'Reilly's quickly before it closes to grab 2 adapters, and then we're going to get back to the garage and start tearing some up. My only worry now is that I am running very low on gas for the welder, so fingers crossed that we can make it through it. My second favorite store, even though I hate this store. There we go. There we go. That's what we need right here. Those. Not that I hate O'Reilly's necessarily or specifically, but more specifically that store specifically. I always seem to spend more money in the store than I anticipate, but also the guys in there, terrible customer service. Anyway, that's enough of that. I gotta stop at the red box here, see if we can get a movie. Yeah, that's what I'm after. All right, let's get after this thing. 2. So what I ended up doing was cutting one of these portions of flex pipe out from under the car, which wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be. The goal was to keep everything bolted up, and that way I would know everything lined up perfectly, so when I went to reinstall the Y pipe, everything would match up and there wouldn't be any leaks. However, it wasn't quite as easy as I wanted it to be, like I said, so I just went ahead and pulled the Y pipe out, cut that chunk off, then I bolted the flanges back up, so the 2 pipes from the test pipes and then the collector back for the mid pipe, and then got my measurement for the length of pipe I needed, fitted everything up, tacked it in place, and now we're going to weld it up. All right, now we're welded up, so I'm going to let this cool just slightly, and then I'm going to grind them down a little bit just to clean everything up, paint them so we don't get any rust, and then I'm going to maybe wrap them again. I'm not sure. I want to get this thing buttoned up. I had new gaskets coming in. They're in the mail. They should be delivered today, but I'm impatient. All right, here it's done. I got it painted black with the engine enamel, high heat engine enamel, and rewrapped. And I did the overlaps a little closer together this time, so I ended up having to use 2 sections of the heat wrap, so that's why you see the variation in color, and also it's a little chunkier on that side where I rolled the ends up. But anyway, it should be well insulated, and now I gotta flip it over. This is upside down, and then install the sucker and see what happens. All right, we're all bolted up, tightened down. It feels really solid under there. I was pounding on it a bit in different locations. Didn't hear any sort of vibration or rattle. I guess we gotta drop it down and test it out. Guys, do me a favor too, if you're gonna do any type of welding on the car, even if you're just gonna do a couple little tack welds like I did, make sure you unplug your battery or take the negative cable off the battery so you don't cause any issues with the computer in the car. Coming from the body shop world, I've seen it a couple of times, and that's a couple too many times, actually. All right, here we go. I'll roll down the window a little. First start in the garage. Sounds okay. Definitely like the paddle shifters. Starting to rain now, but let's see. I don't know, guys. There's a little bit of a rattle still, and it may just be, it's definitely better than it was, but it might just be because you know, I had the exhaust apart and adjusted the gaskets, so it might just be a rattle at the gaskets. I don't know. I have all new metal gaskets coming for every joint, from the triangular gaskets up on the test pipes to the headers, to the 2.5-inch gaskets for the test pipes to the Y pipe, and the 3-inch metal gasket coming, or I actually have that one already for the Y pipe and the collector. So I'm going to replace all of those, and that might fix it up. But right now I'm annoyed once again. It's raining right now, or it just got done raining, so I'm going to test out the wet traction for these tires and the paddle shifters. Second, but it's wet. Well, I wanted some Dunkin' Donuts, need a coffee drink, and it is pouring. Sorry. Just under the awning here at the gas station till, okay, calming down. There was a threat of hail. Oh God. We made it. Well, thank you guys for following along on this Monday adventure. I considered not finishing this video and not uploading this video just because nothing really was accomplished. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway, because you win some and you lose some. It's inevitable when you modify vehicles that some things are going to change, and that might lead to things like this. Undiagnosed rattles and exhaust leaks and things like that when you start messing with the stock settings. And I guess part of the process is resolving those issues and trying to you know, track them down and figure out what they are, what's causing them, and how to solve them. And today was one of those days, and unfortunately we didn't solve the issue. I'm confident we'll get it figured out though. It's no big deal. It's just a little rattle in the exhaust here. I can deal with it. Just cruising around, you can't hear it at all. It doesn't make any weird noises or anything. It's only when we get up around 3,500, 4,000 RPM. So you don't spend a whole lot of time in that RPM range, you know, on a daily basis. So you know, we'll get these gaskets swapped out. I probably won't share that. That's just you know, how much more boring can you get, right, than changing out gaskets. But of course, I'll still give you an update and let you know if that resolved the issue. But what do we got going on next? I'd like to do a little video discussing tire sizes and what tire size you might want to select for certain driving circumstances. A lot of people are always asking, will this size fit or will that size fit? But nobody is really talking about what they're using the tire for and what they're trying to get out of the tire, and that makes a big difference. So we'll chit chat about that a bit. Speaking of tires, I want to finish up a nice tire review for these Lexani LX20s. So far, so good, but I haven't gotten to push them in all kinds of conditions or got a chance to film in all types of conditions, and unfortunately it rained today, so I could do some wet testing, but I just don't have time to film anymore, to be honest. Got a couple more how-to videos planned. Also want to get suspension installed. That might be a how-to as well. Sway bars, brakes. We got some pretty big car shows coming up. The drag strip, the local drag strip is now open for business, so I want to try to get there a couple of times this summer. We have the mountain run in Highlands, North Carolina coming up in a few weeks. Really pumped about that. And we'll see what happens with this exhaust rattle, but to be honest, I've been considering a whole new exhaust setup, so we might explore a couple of options there or just start gradually piecing some things together over the next couple of weeks. So stick around. We got a lot of big things coming up, and it should be an exciting summer. Hit the subscribe button, please, if you haven't already. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers by June, and we are well on the way. If you're new to the channel, you might want to hit that little bell notification button as well, because you want to stay up to date and try to post video about twice a week. So pretty consistent, and always got some stuff going on. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate your support more than you can imagine. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything of that nature, leave them in the comment section below. I try to respond to you, every single one of them. Again, thank you very, very much for watching. See you next time.